little bit later, but it didn't want to cooperate. So here we are. Anyways, let me get set up on here since I didn't get it set up. It's nice to see you. I don't know what's going on. They changed some type of setting and I do it all wrong anymore. So, guys, just in a couple hours, we're going to be on the Lore Lodge, learning a little more about Sebastian Rogers, his father, and more about the case. You know, I'm interested. There's a lot of stuff that has come out. Sorry, guys, I'm in the process of fixing everything now because I wasn't meaning to go live. Hey guys, it's nice to see you. Who's all in here? Busy Mama, Dawn, Sheila, Bear, Clarissa. It's nice to see you. Ashley, Brenda, Texas Cowgirl Up, SRK, ER Blues, Joanne. It's nice to see you. Did you hear about the plane crash? Yeah, are you talking about in Toronto? I just heard about it. If that's the one you're talking about, I just heard about it. Vicky, it's nice to see you. Cajun, Peggy, Monica, hello. Oh, Sue, it's nice to see you, love. Blue Nick, it's nice to see you. Susan, Vaughn, hey, from Australia, nice to see you. Outer Banks, Brenda, I'm very excited to tonight's interview. I am. So, I just want to say, say a prayer. I know I look a little disheveled, but it's because I've been bouncing around. I'm still cleaning up the house because I'm getting ready to, you guys don't know it yet, but I might as well burst the bubble now because in the next week and a half, after I'm getting the house ready because you guys know that the milestone, the 1 year anniversary of Sebastian's milestone. I don't like saying anniversary. That implies something happy and it's just not happy. Milestone that he's been missing. So since I'm going to be close in March, on March 1st, I'm thinking like maybe March 2nd or 3rd, we'll head up to Kentucky and cover the Crystal Rogers case. And also there is a lot of flooding going on right now in Kentucky as well as Tennessee. So I figured maybe would go out there and spend a day covering the flooding that's going on out there. So I figured since it's been a while since we've been out of the house, really the only case we've covered in the last year was Sebastian's. I went and covered a little bit of Daniela Mendiola. That was, and some of the flooding in North Carolina. But as far as what we're accustomed to doing on this channel, we didn't travel hardly at all last year. We are usually, for those that have just met me through the Sebastian Rogers case, we're very rarely reporting from the home, even though the entire case you watched me report from the home. We don't do that. We are typically out in the field, strumming up information, strumming up leads, searching in the woods for people, trying to identify. I stepped away for 10 minutes and you go live. Just your luck. Don't worry. We're doing is just having a chat, getting everybody together, reminding everybody we have a major interview on the Lore Lodge. I'm excited to see what's going on. We have ice skating rinks on my street. Well, it doesn't sound like you're going anywhere, not unless you want to, I don't know. I don't. If I see ice, I don't like ice. Ice is a very finicky thing with vehicles. So have you heard about the crazy religious doctrine being taught at some of these Tennessee churches with regards to autism? No, Tree Hugger, you're going to have to send that stuff to me. No, I have not heard. I heard that they did, I've been keeping up with their news and stuff, and I heard that there was an HT type of situation associated with that gang that's from Venezuela, and that they've captured a few more people or something like that. Just not sure. Hey, Cajun, Cinderelli, it's nice to see you. Monica, Oh, Monica, you don't want to know who that person is. That person's just a horrible, horrible person. Just horrible. It's another GW, another QB, another BT. I mean, that's who that is. It's the counterpart of TikTok. So what do you guys think? You guys, this is what I'm going to find, and I know it's not going to be anything about this Yahoo, even though now, you know what? I'm not. We're going to move past the Yahoo. We're going to move past the fired, unscrupulous PI that can't keep a job. We're going to move past him. We're not even going to make it about him or anything else. He's done. He's toast. He's out of here. All he's going to have anymore to complain about is, look what I did in court. Look what I did. Everybody, do you see me? Can you see me? Can you see me? That's it. We're done. Who thinks Chaos needs more coffee? If Chaos is asking who thinks Chaos needs more coffee, I would say we all think you need some coffee. This is the coffee club, and it just dawned on me when you said that I don't have a lick to drink here. Not a lick. Not a lick. Did you look into the old case about the boy who rolled in that gym mat? No, we went over, Carol, we went over the newest update, which I thought was pretty interesting because they're still all believing that he fell into this freaking rolled up thing and it's just a tragic accident. But this is right on the heels of Ellen Greenberg, you know, and her mom and dad having to fight law enforcement because they, you know, said that was an unaliving. And I think that that's key. Whenever they botch an investigation, they just say it's an accident or whatever. I mean, we got another one in Virginia by the name of Jason, and that one's really hard. And we're going to end up having to address that sometime in the near future because the family is at a loss. They don't know what to do. Something just isn't right about that case, and we're going to be going over. I was meaning to go over it a little more last year before the end of the year, but things just got a little crazy with the Sebastian Rogers case. And since they were trying to shut me up, we went, you know, freaking, if I could do 10 videos a day, I would do 10 videos a day at this point, you know? Like, it's our constitutional right to have our opinion and to speak freely in this country, and I got a stupid idiot trying to shut me up because his feelings are getting hurt, yet he doesn't care about his stepson's, you know, where his stepson is or what his stepson going through. I don't have time for that stuff. I'm not going to be intimidated into silence. It's just not going to happen. So we have to find Sebastian. Exactly. And not only that, what I would love to see tonight is, because every single stupid interview is always about, you know, when it comes from their side, oh, welcome to this crazy crew. I do have my buttons. Welcome to this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. But every time we have anybody on the mom's side of the family where this child disappeared from, whenever they go on any type of interview, it's always about them. Even with, I didn't mean to elbow you, I'm sorry, baby girl. Even with the unscrupulous UTI, when he went on the Lore Lodge challenged him nil. Didn't challenge him on anything, just wanted to have a cordial conversation because they disagreed so much. He just wanted to open up the door for future conversations about this case. So he never challenged. He just let the guy take over and speak, and all he wanted to speak about was himself. He didn't really give a crap about the Sebastian Rogers case. He didn't really give a crap about Sebastian. All he cared about is being on there and talking about himself and how he's got this certificate and that certificate and this certificate and that certificate. Who cares? Don, welcome to this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Oh, Melanie gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. If you received it, and it looks like, oh, it's me, Laura, received that membership. Well, congratulations. Welcome to this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. It's nice to see you. Oh, Turkey Man is in the house. It's nice to see you. Tree hugger from the beginning. That's all Chris Proudfoot talked about, was how much they were suffering. No mention of the suffering Sebastian could possibly be experiencing. Exactly. And that has been one of the more heartbreaking thoughts of this. And I think it was really, really apparent when we started comparing Seth to the mom and stepfather, because there's several days that they did interviews on the same day. And wow, what a difference. One talks about the love that they have for their son, how proud of him he is, of his son, how he just wants his son to come home, speaks to his son directly in the camera, talks about if somebody has his son, he pleads for his son's safe return. And then on the other hand, you go in and within 30 seconds, it's about them and how they feel and how horrible they're being treated by the public. Them. And we're all just sitting here waiting when they're going to start talking about their son that disappeared from their home on their watch. Hey, Libby, thanks for being a member. 5 full months. Whoa, 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 whoa. Nice. Just Deb, it's nice to see you. Rhonda, it's me, Laura. Yes, you got it. You got it, girl. Hey, River. It's nice to see you. So I'm hopeful that we can learn a little bit more. I don't know, it's been a while since I chit-chatted with Seth about his son's case. So I don't know if he has information. I don't know if he's just here to just because Lore Lodge has been covering this case, and as anybody can expect, whenever you have an opportunity to get the information firsthand from the person. Oh, thank you, Izzy girl. 5 months, justice for Sebastian. God bless you. When you get a person in front of you, you probably have a lot of questions that I know. For me, let me just talk about me instead of him, because I don't know him. But for me, even whether I feel a way or not, right? Even if the subject is somebody that I think did something terrible, you have the option to now ask all those questions you were in doubt of, right? Or you didn't know one way or another. Thank you, Libby. Oh, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So even if a subject you don't like, you still have some objectives. So there's no need to ever be nasty to anybody. And I always tell you that. We have our opinions of the cases. We'll do what we do, with organically through the show and stuff like that. But when you have a subject there, you already have your idea of how the case went. However, there are certain things that you're having to assume, right? Let me just give you, this is not really the best example, but let me just give you the example. What time did somebody realize his shoes were still at the house, right? It seems like an insignificant, detail, but it's so significant, because if law enforcement came there and were there an hour and a half being told that the child walked out of the house on his own, and then we find out, like, Seth walks in and it's like, well, how did he walk out? All his shoes are here. And they're like, something like that. You'd want to know, if that's something that's contentious, or it even though it seems insignificant, means something to you. You have an opportunity to speak to the person and say, do you even recall what time the shoes were known to have been there? Like, was it immediate? Did you immediately know all his shoes were there? Did you not immediately? At what point did you realize he left the house without shoes? Right? So you already have your questions in your mind that you don't know for sure. We don't know what those questions are, at least for me, because I don't know the Lore Lodge well enough to decide, what questions he may or may not have. But I'm sure he has those questions. So he's going to have sat there, and I can't imagine what questions he would have. His questions might be a lot different than my questions, because I've been covering this case since like the middle of March, where he's been covering the case, since the middle of September, maybe. Like maybe there was a 4 to 6 month, time difference. Maybe I knew of something early on, or maybe that something was a rumor and I just took it as fact, and he has an opportunity to ask him. So I don't know what those questions will be. So I'm very interested. I know whatever questions that are going to be asked and answered are going to be very important, and probably something we haven't heard before. Maybe some of the stuff we have, but some of the stuff we might not, because we're taking another set of eyes on this. And maybe we forgot a key or critical factor in the case. Thank you, Graves Crime. Why won't it let me see your full name? Oh my goodness. Oh, there it is. Grave Crime with Grace. It's nice to see you. Thank you for for donating a Bullhorn Betty membership, and it looks like Kimberly received that membership. So welcome to this crazy crew we call the Coffee Cup, Kimberly, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Do you know, Betty, if it wouldn't have been for you, it wouldn't have been open. It would have been open and shut. Who's keeping his checks? Is it being used for vacations? Do you check your messages? I check my email. bullhornbetty@gmail.com. bullhornbetty@gmail.com. That's the best way to get a hold of me. Now, I may not respond. I used to respond to everybody, but my level of emails, and there's been some emails that I've missed by mistake, and I've been meaning to go back and I haven't, and then weeks turn into months. So if it's something that I haven't answered, please be sure after a few days, if you still need it answered, resend it to me so it's up at the very top, because me going back further, it's my system. It sucks, okay? But it's my system. Why would a runaway leave in his pajamas instead of getting dressed? Well, that's kind of funny that you say it like that, Caroline, because I have pajamas. You have pajamas. But it seemed like he got dressed in clothes. Like, I've got pajamas for cold weather. I got pajamas for hot weather. I've got now granted, the extent of my winter, pajamas are basically a button-up shirt with the pants that match, but it's pants and it's short sleeve, not long sleeve, because I don't know why I just get... Long story short, we have pajamas. But it didn't sound like, now that you put it in it just like that, it doesn't sound like he was wearing pajamas. Think about it. They couldn't figure out what shirt he left in. It didn't sound like he was in pajamas at all. It sounded like he was fully dressed. They try to make it sound like it was pajamas, but he was wearing the Adidas style pants and a black shirt. To me, that's clothes for school. So Sebastian didn't walk out. He was carried out allegedly, and in my opinion, it's my opinion too. That is my opinion too. Break the case with talking about the shoes last night. With Jennifer Coffindaffer. I went in there, but I don't remember. But it's possible. I can't remember what she talked about yesterday. My brain goes in and out. I'll pull stuff that it just is what it is. I'm so excited. I want to know what medicine Sebastian was taking for sure. Would he know? Would he remember? Because I heard one of the medications may have just recently been prescribed. Police are trained about shoes. Where these police are not trained. I think of why these police not trained. I don't know. I don't know, but it sounds like it, for whatever reason, from, I can't remember if it was my interview or another interview somewhere, but it was found that when Seth walked in the house, which was before 8 a.m., excuse me, before 8:30 a.m. He was there before 8:30. I remember that. And I don't remember what time before 8:30, but he said he noticed it the minute he walked in the house. Was he the first one that noticed his shoes were missing? That's an interesting interesting question. I'm looking forward to the Lore Lodge interview. Me too. But you know what? I have a funny feeling we're going to hear more about Sebastian than we are about everybody's freaking feelings. I have a funny feeling, you know? We're not going to be talking about SARS certificates and, you know, me. I'm pretty sure that we're going to be talking about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, and hopefully we learn a little bit new information. We right now have been strangled off by mainstream media as well as law enforcement. We've been kind of really working this case as much as we can possibly work this case, right? We're finding little bits here and a little bits there, but it's going back and re-listening to, go back and re-listening to, go back and re-listening to, go back and re-listening to, constantly re-listening to interviews and just trying to see if we've missed anything. And a lot of the times we do. A lot of the times we miss a lot. Hey Linda, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. What else? When did Seth hear his son was missing? So this I can answer, Turkey Man. I remember this. So Seth was working. He's not, because he's in the jail, he's not allowed to have his phone on him at the jail. So he usually leaves his phone in his truck, from what I understand. And he gets off work around 7, but he has to stick around because somebody always has to man the pods. He has to make sure that he's not needed for anybody, for relief of anybody else before he clocks out for the day. So he's required to stick around just for a few minutes after his shift ends to make sure he's not needed somewhere else before he clocks out. He said that he got out about 7:20 from that and was able to clock out. He makes his way out to his truck and sees a missed call from Chris, and 911 call me immediately, text message from Chris that he had missed, that was sent around 6:20 that morning. So while he's still in the parking garage, he calls Chris, and Chris says, "Don't be mad. Sebastian's missing." And so Seth's like, okay, and goes straight from work to Chris and Katie's house, and that's kind of how he heard and when he heard his son was missing. It was around 7:20 in the morning on February 26th. And then he arrives over at their house about right before 8:30. And then, of course, he was there for the 3 days from 26th, 27th, and 28th. And Chris decided to throw a black gasket so he could run away from home and go handle something and disappear for 24 hours. So, and then when he returns, he decides to stand in the middle of the road and make Miss Bobby have a heart attack. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So what do I know that's going to happen tonight on the Lore Lodge? I know absolutely nothing. So this is going to be very, very interesting. And I'm very, very excited to hear what we have to talk about. I'm going to be paying attention. I don't know how many of you guys type versus how many of you guys write notes. But those that are typers, please take notes. Those that are writers, please take notes, because we're going to need to go over. Those notes are going to be very, very critical at some point. We're this late. We're almost a year into the case of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, And although we stopped hearing from the mom and stepdad months ago, we have not stopped hearing from the biological father, Seth Rogers. He has been one of the most outspoken advocates for his son, and the lead charge in trying to bring his son home safely, or finding out any information that will lead to his whereabouts. So he's the only one talking to the public. He's the only one talking and giving information. So this is something that everybody, hate channels and all, are going to be knee deep in, trying to figure out what they can. Hate channels are going to try to use it to tear him apart. We're going to try to use the information we can to see if we can put some puzzle pieces together in our timeline, in where we might need to research or do a little more research on specific topics possibly. So that's kind of where my focus is. If you guys hear something in this that you think we need to research a little deeper, make sure that you guys send that to bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I am going to try to do a live right after the Lore Lodge. If we can get here and get, depending on how tired I am and how long it lasted, we're going to be discussing in detail what was discussed on the Lore Lodge, and we're going to see, you know, if we have any questions. And then that's going to be where I'm going to try to get as much information from you guys so I can have stuff set up for 10 a.m. tomorrow. 10 a.m. tomorrow's show will be going over more specific line items of the Lore Lodge. So we'll get together after the interview. We'll see what topics of the discussion or what information we need to focus on, and we'll start building the show for 10 a.m. the next day. Oh, Georgia Patriot! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Georgia Patriot woman just gifted 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. If you received your 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships, don't forget to tell Georgia Patriot woman thank you. And for those 5 individuals, welcome to the family, this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Let's see what else we have. That's so awful. Praying his healing and his family. Oh, and this reminds me, guys. Sunday, because I didn't go live yesterday, I forgot to bring this up. Jen in Georgia, she comes in here periodically, and she's going through a lot right now. I know we have a lot of people going through a lot, and I know we have a huge prayer circle and prayer chain with some of the Coffee Club members here on this channel. So if you could think to put Jen in Georgia on your prayer list and try to uplift her with some good positive energy, I'd greatly appreciate that. I'd greatly appreciate that. It's not my business to tell. We learned in church. If you want to know about that stuff, you guys should come hang out with us at church. But I just wanted to uplift her. Witchy Mama, see somebody say something. Justin has an after party planned already. Oh, I'm sure he probably does. They are direct. I haven't seen all of the interviews because he was horrible and intolerant. He always is. The only people that'll accept him are the hate channels, you know, and he had an opportunity to go on a reputable channel and he blew that. Not only did he blow that, he had the best possible interview. He wasn't being challenged on jack crap. And all he had to do was make it about Sebastian, and he couldn't. He made it about himself. And when he realized what he did, he went and trashed the Lore Lodge and said that it was a setup. He let you talk. He asked you 6 questions in 2 hours. You talked the entire time. How is that a setup? I can't. Hey, Sorta Morta. All right, guys, that's all I want to say. We'll be back here after the Lore Lodge ends. That's if I can stay awake. If I can't stay awake, we'll be back 10 a.m. and we'll just do all the research and everything live on the show. Aw, thank you, Panda Bear's mom. It's nice to see you. Nanny needs a Danny. Please add my family on your prayer list as well. My niece found her. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Zanny needs. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, got Coffee Club. I want to see you over at the Lore Lodge with bells on, and it's going to be going on. Let me just make sure I've got the time. I think it's at 7 Eastern Standard Time, not 8 Eastern Standard Time. But let me just be the Lore Lodge. Let me just be sure. It is at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we will be going live in about an hour and 20 minutes, y'all. An hour and 20 minutes. So we will see you guys there. Be there or be square for all the beautiful people that showed some love. Thank you so very much. Let me just go through the list. We've got, oh wow, Mary Kay, welcome to this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club. Dawn, the same. Melanie, oh, Melanie, Grave Crime with Grace, Forever Nikki's mom, and Patriot, Georgia Patriot Woman, all donated Bullhorn Betty memberships. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, please don't forget to tell them thank you. We have Mary Kay, Dawn, and Libby, the newest members of our coffee club, and Panda Bear's mom saying thank you, and Libby giving a super chat. Thank you all so very much, as well as Libby being with us for 5 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And we have a lot of new cases to cover. And these are not cases we're going to be diving deep in. These are just crazy cases going on right now that you, the audience, need to know about. So you are in tune with everything true crime here on these streets. Thank you, guys. Have a great night. And God bless each and every one of you.